क्या नाम? सुशील. The question raised by Sushil is that ego, personality, individuality, freedom, all these surely have the society as the backdrop. The relationship between the society and the individual is always being called into question. He means to ask, how do I secure my freedom from the society? The individual and the society. For how many of you is this question important? What is the relationship between the individual and the society? Yes. How many of you think it's important for you? So the question belongs not only to him but to many others as well, right? Because we are conscious, we relate with each other. We relate with each other. But unconscious things, material, also relate with each other. For example, hydrogen relates to oxygen and you have, right? Iron is attracted to, are you getting it? Even materials have some kind of relationship with each other. Are you getting it? What is the difference between a material relationship and a conscious relationship? Go into it. What is the difference between a material relationship and a conscious relationship? In a material relationship, there is no understanding of what is going on. You are just a slave to your conditioning. Can the iron piece decide that it will not be attracted to the magnet? Can the iron piece decide that it will be attracted to the magnet? Even that is not a decision, right? It's just happening. Neither the magnet knows, nor does the iron piece why this relationship exists. None of them know. It is just happening. Whereas when two conscious human beings relate, they understand. Their relationship comes out of this real understanding. Can I relate to you if I do not understand you? Can you relate to me if you do not understand me? You can't, right? We have to investigate what is the relationship that we have with other individuals. And that is what is called the society, right? The relationship of one individual with many others. That is what is called as the society. This entire network of relationships. This is what we call as the society. We have to investigate what is the origin of these relationships. Do we understand what is going on? Because if it is a conscious relationship, then we must understand. Otherwise it is just material relating to material in a very, very dead way. Now, do we really understand what is the foundation of our relationship with our parents, with our teachers, with our friends, with our pet animals, with trees, with our books, with the entire education system. We are relating to all of these, right? And this is what is society. Friends, teachers, family, friends. That's what is society for us. Am I right?
Yes.
Do we understand really, as conscious people, not as iron and magnet, do we understand what is the basis of our relationship with these?
Feelings.
Do we really understand?
So feelings.
Feelings, you said. Do we understand what these feelings are? What do you mean by feelings? When you say feelings, you probably mean to say that it is something different from a dead process, something totally mechanical. Iron and magnet, it's a mechanical thing, right? Feelings, you probably imply that they are not really mechanical, that feelings happen consciously. Now, is there really consciousness in your feelings? To be conscious is to understand. Please take this. To be conscious is to understand. And to understand is to stand at some distance from what is happening. To understand means to not to be entangled, but to be an observer. Are you getting it? You talked of feelings. Let me ask you, when you get angry, that's a feeling?
Yes.
When you are very, very angry, do you really understand that feeling? Are you entangled in your anger, or are you observing your anger? Are you entangled in your anger, or are you observing your anger? Then do you really understand your anger? Is not our anger a purely mechanical thing? Just as you have two elements reacting? It is a given that under certain conditions of temperature, pressure, presence of catalysts, two molecules are surely going to react, right? We know that. It's predictable. Is our anger also not predictable? We all know that if such and such things are told to us, we will get angry. Don't we know that? It is a given that if X type of person comes to you and says Y types of things in Z type of environment, you will surely get angry. Now then, is it not just like a chemical reaction? That under suitable conditions of temperature, pressure and presence of catalyst, the reaction will surely happen. Is it just not like a chemical reaction, a material reaction? Then how are our feelings a proof of our being conscious? In fact, feelings are a proof of our unconsciousness. Remember, all feelings emanate from thoughts. When thought gets intense, when the thinking activity in the mind becomes very vigorous, then it starts appearing as feeling. Then it starts appearing as feeling. You are just irritated, nothing will happen to your body. That feeling of irritation grows and grows and grows. And then what happens? Your hands start trembling. Your face becomes red. And it becomes obvious that you are angry. It's the same thought of irritation that was already present. When that thought intensifies, then you say that it is a feeling. So feeling is nothing but intense thought. And thought is very predictable, very, very predictable. It is just like the material processes, iron and magnet. Iron and magnet. What is really the basis of our relationship? Do we really understand what is going on? When I say that such and such fellow is my friend, and that's what our society is, right? Our friends and other people. When I say that such and such fellow is my friend, do I really understand the basis of this relationship? Do I really understand why he is my friend? When I say that I love this person or that person, do I really understand what is the basis of this relationship of love? When I say that there is this kind of relationship between me and my parents, and we are talking about society, all this is society, friends, family, the entire system, this is what society is, right? When I say that there is this kind of relationship between me and my parents, do I really understand the nature of that relationship, what that relationship exactly is? I may have given it 1,000 names, that's all right. Names don't matter. But do I really understand that relationship? I speak to audiences, and more often than not what I find out is that what you call as affection, love and care, in case of all these familial relationships, it is actually dependency. It is actually dependency. What you call as love in case of relationship between man and woman, it is actually nothing but your chemicals, hormones. Just as two chemicals react, similarly the male and the female hormones are attracting each other, that's all. But you call it by the great name of love. And then it is just like iron and magnet. Neither is the iron really alive, nor is the magnet. Two dead things attracting each other. Why do we live in this society, Sushil? Why? Do we understand what all is this? If we understand all this, then we would be free, because then it would be a conscious choice, then it would be a free will. But most of us feel oppressed living here, right? We often say, the society is taking away my freedom, society is bad, I feel chained and such things. Don't we say that? Yes? Had the relationship between us and society, society meaning family, friends, systems, religion and everything else, had that relationship really come out of a clear intelligence, then we would have never felt oppressed. But we do feel oppressed, don't we? We feel oppressed, right? Please remember something. Consciousness is our nature. We are intelligent. Someone has said man is condemned to be free. So you may like it or dislike it, but you are intelligent and that is your very nature. If you do not let that intelligence manifest, then you would be frustrated and you would live in fear. If society terrifies you, if you are scared of society, it is proof enough that you are not really looking closely at your relationships. You are related to the society out of obligation out of fear. You see, there are two ways in which an individual can connect to another individual. One, out of love, real love. Second, out of fear. Find out how you are relating to all the individuals in your life. Is it really the joy of love which connects you? Or is it some kind of fear which holds you along with other people? Let me drop you a hint. If you think that if I'm not with a certain person, then such and such things will happen. If I'm not in the family, then that will happen. If I'm not with my friend, then this will happen. Then you must know, this is a hint, then you must know that your relationship with family and friend is of fear. You are just afraid that if I am not there, then this will happen. You are not relating to anybody out of your intelligence, out of your love, but you are relating purely out of a certain fear. You may not realize it. In fact, it may hurt you when you realize that, oh my God, all these relationships that I think of as sacred, as central to my life, they are actually based on fear. So it may offend you, it may hurt you, but nevertheless it is true that if there is a certain conditionality, if then, if not, if all these conditions are attached to a relationship, then this is not a conscious relationship of understanding. Then this is a relationship of fear. We are not iron and magnet. That's not how we relate. It's an invitation to all of you here. Before you relate to anybody, before you give it the name of a particular relationship, find out what the truth of that relationship is. Find out what the truth of that relationship is. Man does not exist for society. Society is just the relationship between man and man. Find out what is the basis of this relationship. And any basis of this relationship except understanding and love is a false basis. If your relationships are founded on any basis except understanding and love, then you will live in fear, you will be scared, and such questions will keep coming up. All right.